Hello, friends of the Working Center, and welcome to the 33rd Annual Mayor's Dinner and its very first virtual dinner event. I'm Barry Verbanovich, the Mayor of Kitchener, and this event was started to honor former Kitchener Mayor Dom Cordello, and today is a three-way partnership with my colleagues Mayor Dave Jaworski of Waterloo and Mayor Catherine McGarry of Cambridge in support of the great work done year-round by the Working Center and its team, led by Joe and Stephanie Mancini. Mayor McGarry?
Thank you. Before we talk about this year's honoree, I wanted to take a moment and reflect on the unprecedented situation that our community, our country, and in fact the world is finding itself in. The COVID-19 global pandemic has impacted us in many ways, emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically, and socially. And nowhere has that been more pronounced than amongst our most vulnerable community members and the very citizens that are supported by the good work of the Working Center and numerous other community partners that are working in this space. On behalf of all three of us, and in fact of all of our local communities, a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for all that you have done to serve those that are most in need during these uncertain times. Mayor Jaworski.
Thank you, Catherine. Today we're here to honor Dr. Frances Wesley, the J.W. McConnell Chair in Social Innovation at the University of Waterloo. We are so fortunate to have Dr. Wesley right here in our own community, as she is a renowned scholar in social innovation, sustainable development, and strategic change. Originally, Dr. Wesley was going to speak to us today about climate change and sustainability, with a focus on teaching our children, welcoming refugees, and growing our own food. In light of the world that we find ourselves in today, her presentation will focus on catastrophe and resilience, pathways to a new world. No doubt this will be a very timely conversation, as we all recognize that the global experience of this pandemic will be transformational for each and every one of us and the communities that we live in. Barry?
Thanks, Dave. Right now, as our community and the world faces the pandemic, we are demonstrating our ability to stand together and address this global challenge. And when we overcome COVID-19, we should not forget about the other issues that require each of us to take collective action to protect the sustainability of our planet. As a planet, we recently celebrated the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, a reminder to all of us of the kinds of things we need to do to ensure our ongoing survival. The recent pandemic has encouraged us to stop and reflect on our daily habits. Over the past month, maybe you've spent more time enjoying nature from your balcony or backyard, finding creative ways to reuse household items, or reducing waste by running fewer errands. These are all examples of simple things that we can incorporate into our regular lives, which will have a lasting impact on the sustainability of our planet. Catherine?
Thanks, Barry. But beyond the environment, this pandemic will force all of us as community members, and actually as a full society, to consider many of the broader issues that are impacting our communities and our country. As we come out of this pandemic, how do we modify our vital infrastructure and other major assets in order to safely meet the needs of our citizens? As so many people have embraced telework, what will this mean in terms of needs for business space or the survival of our small businesses on King Street or Main Street in any of our communities? How will we protect the vulnerability of arts and culture and the creative economy? And what lasting changes will need to be put in place to support those most vulnerable, as well as properly value the frontline service workers that have been so very important recently for all of our collective survival? Dave?
As we come together to tackle these kinds of issues, we know there is no better community to do so than the communities that make up our region. And a special shout out to Regional Care Chair Karen Redmond. I see you there. The spirit of collaboration and determination here is second to none. It's that kind of spirit that former Governor General David Johnston meant when he always talked about the barn-raising spirit of this region. And it's the kind of spirit that has been an integral part of the history of everything the Working Center has done since its inception as a social enterprise to serve the most fragile and vulnerable in our community. As we look forward to our collective tomorrow, we are so fortunate to have people like Dr. Frances Wesley in our midst, amongst others, and to support us as we look to imagine our new collective future together. A future we believe can be a more caring, just, and compassionate future for all. In closing, on behalf of Barry, Catherine, and I, a special shout out to the staff and volunteers of the Working Center and supporters like you. Thank you all very much. Bye. See you next year.